I welcome you all to my class. I'm Miss Vandana Gupta, Assistant Professor of Mathematics. We are doing Unit 4, Time Series and Index Number, which is the part of Section 2 Statistics. Time series is how it is defined. A time series is a sequence of values of a phenomenon arranged in order of their occurrence. Or in simple words, you can say that when the data is arranged as per its happening, then the resulting data is called as a time series. Examples of time series: monthly sale of mobile phones in a shop. A shopkeeper may like to analyze what is the sale of mobile phones from his shop monthly. So he, in this example, time is month. Second one, yearly strength of a college. Here the time is year. Daily price of shares of a particular company. So here time is day. Fourth one, temperature recorded in Mumbai city every hour. So in this case, time is hour. Okay. Now there are various factors which are responsible for the fluctuations in the time series. They are called as the components of time series. Basically, there are four factors which are responsible for fluctuations or variations in the time series. They are as follows. First one is called as secular trend. Second is seasonal variations. Third is cyclical variations. And fourth is irregular variations. The secular trend is what? In short, I will explain you, though I have already done it in the previous class. Secular trend means the tendency of the data either to increase or decrease or remain constant gives you a secular trend. For example, the sale of, if you look at the time series of sale of luxury items like TV, mobile phone, and etc., it is showing over the period of time, it is showing an increasing trend. Similarly, the death rate in of infants, it is showing a decline or you can say the decreasing trend. Seasonal variations are the variations which occurs due to some particular type of season. For example, the sale of woolen clothes or sale of winter raincoat and umbrellas, their sale increases in a particular period. So there will be changes in the time series during that particular month. Cyclical variations, this happens due to the various phases of the business cycle. As we know that um, there are four phases of the business cycle. The business may boom. So there will be an increase in the profit. Then there will be slightly the recession period will come, and then there will be decline and then recovery. So due to this cyclical variations in the business cycle, there could be a variation, and this will be periodic in nature and maybe more than a year or what. Irregular variations happen due to the irregularity which you cannot predict. So due to some natural calamities like flood or maybe the corona, what is going on nowadays, or so due to this also the various values in the time series may fluctuate. Or some these are some natural calamities. Some man-made calamities are also there. Like for example, there were some strike or lockdown. So due to these reasons, the sale or the various other factors, other time series may be affected. Now, to find out the trend values in the time series, there are two methods. One is called moving average method. The second one is called the least square method. Now, see, in the moving average method, there are three types: 3 yearly, 4 yearly, and 5 yearly moving average method. One by one, we will see that. In 3 yearly moving averages, we take the, so suppose for this is the time series given to you. Here it is here, sales. If I want to find out the estimated or trend value for the year 2001, I have to take the average of the current year's value, previous year, and the next year. Because I don't have the value available for the previous year, I cannot find out for the 2001. So I have to put a blank here. Okay. For 2002, what you have to do, I have to take the average of the previous value and the next value. So first three. So this is how I have indicated: 51 plus 53 plus 56. Sum is 160. And average, I have to divide by 3. So I will get here. Okay. In this way, for 2003, I will have to leave this. So I have to take the sum of 53 plus 56 plus 57. Okay. The sum is 166. When I divide by 3, I'll get 55.33. In this way, I can leave one value from the top and add the values from the down and come from top to the bottom of the table. For the last year, I cannot calculate because there is no data available after 2009. So in this way, I can find out the 3 yearly moving averages. Then if it is asked to you to plot the values on the graph paper, you can prepare a graph like this. On the x-axis, you will plot year. On the y-axis, sales. So first we will plot the graph of the original time series. For 2001, figure is 51. So 2001 is here, figure is 50 is here, so it is 51. I'm plotting the original time series by red color. 2002 is the value is 53. So 2002, the value is 53. Then for 2003, it is 56. 2003, it is 56. If it's 55, so here it is 56. This way, I have got all the values. I can first plot the points and then join them. So this is what red color one is my original time series. You can see that from 2001 to 2004, there is an increase. 2001 to 2004. Then up to 2005, there is an increase. See here, 51, 53, 56, 57, and 6. Then suddenly there is a drop in 2006. It is sale has dropped from 60 to 55. So there is a drop here, 60 to 50. Again, it has started. Okay, so you can see from the graph. Then the moving averages or the trend values. For that, I'm using different colors. This green color I have used. So you can see that for 2001, I don't have the trend value. For 2002, it is 53.33. That means I can say slightly above 2000, above 53. So 2002, it is the first 53 here, 53.3 here, so with green color. For 2003, it is 55.33. For 2003, this is 55, slightly above that. For 2004, 57 points. So in this way, I have plotted all the points and then I have joined them. So this gives me the moving averages. So on the same graph paper, you can plot. Now this problem, the first exercise, calculate 3 yearly moving averages for the following time series, giving the number of units produced. Also plot the original time series and the moving averages on the graph paper. So this already I have explained you, so you can plot it. So for my conveniency, I have written this table in the vertical way. I'm given here year and the number of units produced. So I have written this in 2000, it is 37, 2001, 45, and so on up to 2008. The figure is 65. So I have written it in this way. Now I have to find out 3 yearly moving averages. So what I will do, I'll have to make two columns. One is 3 yearly total. The other column, in other column, I will calculate 3 yearly moving averages. So let us see here how I do that. See, for the year 2000, I cannot find out the value because I don't have the data available for the previous year. So what I'll do, I will add these three, 37 plus 45 plus 52. When I add, I'll get 134. I have to write in the middle of this. So 2001, that is 134. Now I have to define the total, 3 yearly total. I want 3 yearly moving average. So I have to divide 134 by 3. When you divide 134 by 3, you will get 44.67. Then what I have to do, I have to leave this 37. I have to take the sum of 45, 52 and 42. 45 plus 52 plus 42. So this will give me the sum against 2002. So that is 139. Divide by 3, I'll get the average, that is 46.33. Then what I have to do, I have taken 45, 52 and now 45 I have to leave. So 52, 42 and 58. 52 plus 42 plus 58 will give me 152. Divide by 3 will give me 50.67. Then I will leave 52, 42 plus 58 plus 63. So that is 163. Divide by 3 will give me the average. Next, I have to leave 42. So 58, 63 plus 50. That gives me 171. And average, I have to divide this sum 171 by 3. I'll get the average, that is 57. Next, I have to leave this 58. So 63 plus 50 plus 60. That will give me 173. And average, when you divide 173 by 3, you will get 57.67. Okay, then next. So it was up to here. Now 50 plus 60 plus 55. So that will give me 175. And when I divide by 3, I'll get the average 58.33. So I have found out the 3 yearly moving averages for all the years. For the last one, I cannot calculate. So I have to put the blank here or dash. Okay. So this is how you can find out 3 yearly moving averages. Now see, if um, now you know how to plot the graph, so you can plot the graph for the original time series and the moving average. For the sake of drawing the graph, you may round it off here, 44.67. So you can take it 45. 46.33, you can round and take it 46, like that. Okay, 50.67, so you can take it 51, because in graph these decimals cannot be plotted if you don't have a very big graph. Okay, so now let us see 5 yearly moving averages. Calculate 5 yearly moving averages for the following time series, giving the number of units produced in thousands. Also plot the original time series and the moving averages on the graph paper. So here again I'm giving the data or the time series of number of units produced from 2000 to 2008. And these number of units produced are in thousands. So this figure 51 is actually 51,000. This is 53,000. Okay, and so on. Now, 5 yearly moving average is also very much similar to 3 yearly moving average. Only thing is that in 3 yearly moving averages, we were taking the average of 3 years. Here we are going to take the average of 5 years. Okay. So for example, if you want for the year 2000, so what you have to do? You have to take this value and the previous two. Previous two is not available, so you cannot find out for the year 2000. Similarly, for 2001 also you will not be able to calculate. So in this case, you first two and last two you will not be able to calculate. So this is the drawback of this method. Okay, let us see. Let us solve this problem now. So I've written this time series in a vertical way like this. Year and number of units produced. I have to find out 5 yearly averages. So first column, I will write 5 yearly totals, and in the next one, 5 yearly moving averages. So what I have to do? First, I have to take the total of 5. So total of 51, 53, 50, 57, and 60. Look at here. The total will be 271. And that I will write in the center of this. In the center of this, matlab 2002. So I'm getting the figure, this 271 for 2002. See the current value, previous 2 years, and the next 2 years. Okay, I cannot find out for these 2 years, so I have to put a dash here. So when you add these, you will get 271. I'm taking 5 yearly averages, so I have to divide this sum by 5. So I'll get 54.2. When you divide 271 by 5, you will get 54.2. Then what you have to do, as we did in the 3 yearly, leave this 51, add 53 plus 50 plus 57 plus 60 plus 55, you will get 275 that you write here, and divide by 5 will give you 55. Next time what you have to do, you have to take from 50 to 59. 50 plus 57 plus 60 plus 59, 5 plus 59, sum is 281. Okay, and average, divide this sum by 5. So you will get 56.2. Next, you all can do by calculator and check the values. Then 57 to 62. Okay, 57 plus 60 plus 55 plus 59 plus 62 gives me 293. So that I've written here. Okay, 7 plus 5 plus 9 plus 2. Okay, 3, carry forward 2, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 5, 12, 12 plus 6, 18 plus 5, 23 plus 6, 29. So 293. Divide by 5, you will get this. Then the last one, from 60 to 68. 60 plus 55 plus 59 plus 62 plus 68. Sum will be 304. And for average, divide this sum by 5, you will get 60.8. Now you cannot find for the remaining these 2 years, because you do 55, 59, 62, and 68 only. You don't have the value after 2008. So you cannot find out for this year and this year. So in 5 yearly moving averages, you cannot find out the trend value for the first 2 years and the next 2 years. It is very much similar to 3 yearly, except the difference is you are taking the sum of sum and average of 5, 5. Okay. The next one, 4 yearly moving averages. This is slightly different. Calculate 4 yearly moving averages for the following time series, giving sales in 1000 units. Also plot the original. If it is asked to you to plot the graph, you have to plot. Otherwise, just calculate the values. So for the sake of simplicity, I have written this time series in the vertical way here. See here. 2000, 2001, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. In this, I have not made the actual sales here. The reason is I want to show you the where exactly you have to write down the value. Okay, so let us concentrate here. Here I have to find out 4 yearly moving averages. So I have to first take the total of 4 years. So I'll prepare a column for 4 yearly totals. In this case, you have to prepare one more column for center total. I'll tell you what is that. And then moving average, 4 yearly moving average will be 4 yearly moving average will be the center total divided by 8. It is 4 yearly. Okay, moving averages. Let us see how to do it. So first of all, we will take the sum of the first 4. So 12 plus 15 plus 18 plus 17, sum will be 62. Okay, now see, where will you write this sum 62? So the center of these 4 years is between 2001 and 2002. So this figure 62, you have to write in the alignment of middle of 2001 and 2002. See here you have to write. Okay, so that is here between 1 and 2. Look at the center. Okay. Next, what you do, take the sum of 15 plus 18 plus 17 and 16. Add these 4. The middle of these will be between 2002 and 3. So this number I'm writing. Let us see the alignment between 2 and 3. Yahan likhenge hum. Okay. So be careful. Then next again 4. So 18 plus 17 plus 16 plus 20. These sum. Okay. Sum of the values for the year 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this center is here between 3 and 4. So this 71 I will write here. So that is how you have to write. I have not make the cells here just to show you how and where you have to write. Next, add 17, 16, 20, and 23. And the sum is 76, which you have to write here. Okay. Then 16 plus 20 plus 23 plus 22. The sum will be 81 that you have to write in the middle of 5 and 6. So see the alignment. Okay. Then add 20, 23, 22, and 24. 20, 23, 22, and 24. Sum will be 89. Okay. And that you have to write in between 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly center will be this. Okay. Now see, you cannot find out for the remaining because there is no value after that. So for 7 and 8, you cannot write. So I put a blank here. Okay. So this is all about 4 yearly totals. I hope you have understood. You have to take the sum of 4, 4 and write the value in the middle of these 4. So middle, exactly there will not be any year in the middle. Center will be between 1 and 2. So here you have to write. Okay. Then center total. For center total, what you have to do? You have to take the sum of 2, 2. So 62 plus 66. Add these two values. Okay. So 62 plus 66 will give me 128. Where you have to write that 128? In the middle of 62 and 66. Okay. So 62 is here in the alignments. Look at the alignment. And 66 is here. So what is the center of this? It is 2002. So this sum will come in the for the year 2002. Next is 66 plus 71. So that is 137 between these two. So for the year 2003. For the year 2001 and 2, I cannot find out. So like 5 yearly, here also for the first 2, I cannot calculate. Then 71 plus 76. I have to write for the against the year 2004. So that is 147. Then 76 to 8 plus 81, 157. I have to write, look at the alignment, 76 and 81. I'm taking the sum, center total. So That sum I have to write in the middle of these two. Look at here. It is 2005. So this value will be written against 2005. Then 81 plus 89. So this will be written against 2006. So that is 2170. If you add 81 and 89, you will get 170. For the next two, you cannot write. So I have put a blank here. Okay, see the blank. Okay. So here also for the first two and last two, you cannot find. Now see, for yearly moving averages, you will not divide by 4. You will divide the center total by 8. Why 8? Because this center total is the sum of these two. And this is the sum of 4, and this is also the sum of 4 numbers. So 128, which is the sum of 62 and 66. 62 is sum of 4 numbers. 66 is also sum of 4 numbers. So 128 is the sum of 8 numbers. That is the reason we have to divide by 8. So this is how this 4 yearly moving average calculation is different from 3 yearly and 5 yearly. Okay. So for 4 yearly moving average will be center total divided by 8. Okay. So these are the values for center total. Each value you divide by 8. So 128 divided by 8 is 16. 137 divided by 8 is 17.13. 147 divided by 8 is 18.38. 157 divided by 8 is 19.63. And 170 divided by 8 is 21.25. So in this way, we can find out 4 yearly moving averages. Remember that in 4 yearly moving averages, you have to prepare one extra column for the center total. Okay. So because when you are calculating the 4 yearly moving averages, you are not getting exactly a year in the center. Okay. And that is the reason we have to take the center total. So I hope you have understood this. Now, any problem in the exercise you can take and solve. So once again, for 3 yearly, we will take the average of 3. For 5 yearly, it is also similar. We'll take the average of 5. For 4 yearly only, you have to take the first the sum of 4. You call it as 4 yearly total. But while writing these figures, you have to be little careful. You have to write down exactly in the middle of 1000, 1, 2, and 3, which is between the year 1 and 2. Okay. So here you will write. Then you will take center total and total of 62 and 63. This 62 is written in the alignment of between 1 and 2, and this between 2 and 3. So the center of these two will be year 2002. So this sum we will write in the against the year 2002. Look at year 120. And then finally you have to divide by 8. Okay. So I hope it is clear now. Thank you. More problems you can solve from the exercise.